So sophisticated 6.
11.
9.
8.
10.
9.
7.
These are the amount of hours each of us spend every day using technology. Whether it's on our phone, on our laptop, or listening to the radio, we're always somewhere, somehow involved with it.
With all of these hours spent on internet-enabled devices, have we ever stopped to think about how susceptible we are to hacking and other outside threats? As college students, most of us depend on technology each day, primarily from schoolwork to entertainment to coordinating our lives via phones or laptops.
I know personally my day pretty much is based off of what my Google Calendar says. So I don't know what I would do if that was not around.
Yeah, actually, I spent all of yesterday stuck in the lab. I think I spent around 12 hours doing work. It was horrible, but I spent the entire time in front of a computer.
Well, Lauren, I'm glad you use your computer predominantly for work, but I use mine mostly for Netflix. Hey, Evan, what do you use your computer for?
I personally use my computer mostly for music and acquiring tunes. Actually, I have a funny story for you about that.
So the other day, Evan went to go download some music online. What he did not know is that inside his music file was a Trojan horse virus. Think back to Greek mythology. You have a bunch of bad guys inside a wooden horse, sneak into the castle unbeknownst. That's the same thing that this Trojan horse virus is. So when Evan goes to play his music that he just downloaded, the Trojan horse virus activates, and it goes to establish a backdoor in his computer, pretty much allowing hackers to gain access to the computer whenever they want. The next step they would do is they get a keylogger installed. They could be after sensitive information such as his credit card numbers, banking account information, social security number even. And this data could be sold online and pretty much ruin Evan.
How can Evan stop this?
Well, that's not the worst of it yet.
Evan.
They next go to worms, and the file would kind of duplicate and reinfect other targets, such as through your email. So if you ever got a fishy email from Evan saying, "Hey, please send me $500," I'm stuck in the bank. Click on this link to send me the money. Don't do it. It's obviously fake, and that's one way these viruses can spread.
I get those all the time on Facebook.
Yeah,
they're pretty annoying.
They're pretty annoying, and they're also pretty dangerous. But that's not the worst of it all. This is just a non-malicious attack. They can go in the forms of fire viruses and other physical manifesting issues where people can actually get harmed from this. Think about it. A fire virus causes your computer to overheat and can start an electrical fire.
So you mean a literal fire?
Yeah.
Evan, you could die.
So some of these guys are not so dangerous in the real web, but also dangerous in the real world.
How would your computer actually catch on fire?
Well, there's a way it's theorized that they actually, at night, if you leave it on, they'll turn off your fan and they'll overheat your CPU or your hard drives, and your computer actually just melts. And you get hot enough, stuff around it can just catch on fire.
I mean, alternatively, you could just play the mixtape I tried to download. That would also catch the computer on fire.
Is it a fire mixtape?
It was.
Whoa! Fire! That was good.
Speaking of fire, do you guys remember that YouTube video we saw in class the other day about the Jeep?
Yeah, that was so cool.
Right? The hackers just took control of the Jeep completely wirelessly and shut everything down. They turned on the heaters. They started the windshield wipers. They turned off the engine. They even had to go and turn the engine back on so the guy wouldn't die in the street. The music,
yeah, they kept changing the music.
That was so annoying to me.
And the guy was actually driving on the highway, so he had no control and he looked pretty terrified.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy how much hackers can do in the modern world. 20 years ago, that would have never been able to happen.
And nothing terrifies me more than bloodthirsty robots and hackers.
Now allow me to throw my hat in the ring here. Not all hackers are bad. What most people see as hackers are really black hat hackers, those out with malicious intent and trying to get your information and everything through Trojans and keyloggers. But there are actually white hat hackers out there as well. Hackers employed by companies to test firewalls and to attempt to breach their security systems in any way they know how. There was actually a case of this a couple of years ago where a man was in a Delta flight and he had, through a laptop in the back, accessed the flight computers and could change what the altimeters were reading and even make the plane pitch and roll in flight and take control away from the pilot.
See, I don't know if I would consider that exactly white hat hacking. I would put it maybe more around the gray hat area. He wasn't necessarily doing it for malicious intent, but he wasn't doing it for the good of, research or the good of testing a product before putting it out on the market.
Thanks for clarifying, Caitlin. But I was just wondering what other kinds of hacking do exist?
Well, hackers actually have quite a few tools they can use to access your information and do whatever they want with it. They could have set up a phishing website where it's like one of those.
Oh, I haven't. What is a phishing website?
Oh, glad you asked, Joe. A phishing website is something that you see all over the place, like on Facebook. Sign up now to win a free iPad or $1,000 gift card to Walmart. I know at least everyone
Falled for
here.
that
Do you
one.
think people actually fall for that?
I
I did.
have at least once.
I'm
I
gonna fall for
definitely
that.
did. Yeah, I ordered a Russian wife once. It was the worst thing that I've ever done.
I see money signs in my eyes.
I had someone post on my behalf on my Facebook wall, reposting the same photo and tagging all of my Facebook friends systematically.
Let's just take a little poll here as we go around the room. Who here has been a victim of hacking, or at least this Facebook kind of identity theft here? I know I have.
I definitely have.
I have.
Guilty.
I have.
I'm smarter than that.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
right.
So this is like a really real world threat we got going on here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Other real world threats that exist are worms. Worms are standalone programs that are used to infect other computers. What they do is they will hide themselves in other files. Not like a Trojan, but they're like full on programs that would like hide in a folder or something. And so when you went to forward that folder, it would move along with the folder and try and infect other computers along the way. And another common
Contagion Part 3.
Another common tool they use is something called a keylogger. Keyloggers are often stored in Trojans, but what they do is they're a background program that'll run when your computer's on, and it'll note every single keystroke you make and put that into a Word file or a Notepad file. And after you turn your computer off, it'll then take that file and ship it off to someone's email address so they could pull it up and see where you went. Like if someone saw you typed in facebook.com and then strung an email address, whatever set of characters came next would be your password. And that's a very common technique hackers use to get passwords.
And to kind of preview a little bit, in future podcasts we'll be talking about ways you can defend yourself from these sort of, attacks. But really, there's no way to get rid of these once you're infected. It's hard to find them because they don't attach themselves in the physical file drive. They can go into your boot folders. They can go into your RAM. They can go live in solid states. Once you are infected with one of these viruses, sometimes the only way to cure your computer, quote unquote, is to physically erase all your data, which that's a total pain in the butt.
So, actually, I had a friend last year who, for some strange reason, he went ahead and so those those pop-ups you might get online where they'll say, "Hey, your computer has been infected with a virus. Call this number," right?
Actually, conveniently, we got one of those just before recording this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But no, but the thing was, he was stupid enough to actually call the person. So the person said, "Hey, I'm from Apple Tech Support, but can you please download this folder so I can view your screen on your computer?"
The guy got access to his computer.
So he got access to his computer and basically completely trashed it. So a $2,000 MacBook computer, it's now just a piece of junk. He had to actually throw it away because it would have cost more to repair it.
I know when I did that, I had to later call Comcast because that was like my internet provider. And they had gone as far as to getting the password to my internet. So then Comcast made me call the FBI. So I had a few conversations about that, and trust me, that's something I will try to never fall for again.
Yes, this is something that affects us all in our daily lives. And one of the other things is that most of the time, this stuff goes on in the background without us knowing it at all. And, sometimes it can get noticeable, but most times you might notice a slight decrease in the performance of your computer. But is that really worth reformatting your whole computer and losing all your data? It begs the question.
Well, I know we touched on a little bit of the Internet of Things, but with the Internet of Things expanding the way it is now, you might not even realize that somebody can hack into something that has some type of technological background until realizing that it's kind of destroyed.
You're right, actually, because just think about it, actually, because our professor, she has Alexa in her house, so maybe someone hacked into there, and now they're listening to everything she's saying. She doesn't know. We don't know. Maybe Amazon does.
Maybe Amazon.
Watch out, Dr. K.
And especially with the amount of communication devices have nowadays, you can infect one device and wirelessly that thing could distribute whatever havoc-wreaking software that has onto it to whatever other devices in its range. Like if you were to infect Alexa, and Alexa's communicating with your fridge, your smartphone, your computer, and your router, that could potentially have 4 outputs for whatever thing you just put on Alexa.
Yeah, and just kind of speaking of who's got the new Apple update? You
I
know,
do.
talking to the Hey Siri function.
Mhm.
You know, how does it know you're saying Hey Siri? Your phone's microphones has to be on at all times, listening and recording. So there's a chance that somebody who's listening or hacked your phone could hear everything you have to say at all times, and you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, and for all we know, the companies themselves are actually doing that as well.
You know, which begs the question: we hope they have got good ethical backgrounds.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally thinking about Snapchat on all those selfies that you take, but you're like, nope, next one. They probably have a nice little gallery of your bad selfies.
Well, that's
Ugly
not
ones.
good.
There's some guy sitting on the other end just laughing his behind off at all the various ugly photos that just get downloaded on a daily basis.
Well, I think we have a lot of problems we're going to be talking about in the next couple podcasts.
Tune in.